Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I wanted to show one more playtest of version 2.2 of my Stunticon Decklist. So I'm running 3 Handheld BLasters, 2 Stunticon Swaggers, 3 Swindleds, 3 Reinforced Platings, 3 Energon Axes, 3 Scoundrels Blasters, 2 Sparring Gear, 2 Stunticon Enigmas, 3 Turbo Boosters, 3 Surprise Attacks, 2 Team Up Tactics, 2 Inferno Breaths, 3 Grenade Launchers, 3 Leap into Battles, 1 Inverted, and 2 The Bigger They Are's. So I try to balance things a little better to get some more useful action cards in hand, drop some of my card draw, leaned a little heavier on the blue. I don't think I'm quite there yet where I want to be, but I think this was a useful match against some bold Wave 1 Dinobots that helped illustrate what I think are some of the strengths of Stunticons. So I won the dice roll. I get to go first, and I drew already a Stunticon Swagger, Inferno Breath, and Scoundrel's Blaster. I won't get to play anything on my turn, but I will get to transform one of my Stunticons. So I get to draw an Energon Axe, so in my opinion this is a pretty strong hand for me. I go ahead and flip Dead End to draw a Leap in a Battle, which is nice, and I'm going to swing Breakdown. And my strategy here is to go after Sludge. The faster I kill him, the more effective the damage after him will be. So I get the 2 blue pips, so that's a 4 attack on Breakdown, and Sludge takes 3, so I think for my deck a pretty good start. My opponent transforms Sludge, so now when their Dinobots attack, they get to heal for 1 damage. And he's gonna go after Breakdown. He plays the Plasma Burst, but Motormaster is in alt mode, so in alt mode Motormaster has to take the damage. And then Sludge swings into Breakdown, and without any bold, it's still some damage, but not killing Breakdown yet, which is a good place to be, I think. And I've got Reinforced Plating. Reinforced Plating is one of the ones I'm thinking, like, if I have Reinforced Plating, maybe I don't need the Sparring Gear as I'm going into 2.3 of this deck. There's a flip on Drag Strip to get some Pierce, and the Scoundrel's Blaster to get some more Pierce, and then an Inferno Breath on Offroad to go ahead and put 3 damage on Sludge. And then I'll swing into Sludge, and I get another damage, so 4 attack, or no, 7 attack, 3 pierce, so Sludge is hurt pretty bad, which is good for me. Normally I think when I play Dinobots myself, I swing Snarl first. He to me is the most disposable. Swing Snarl, then Sludge, then Grimlock to try and clean up and get some spillover. My opponent plays a Flamethrower and Confidence, and they get to play an action, but I think at this point they didn't actually have any actions in their hand. And they've transformed Grimlock into bot mode. And Grimlock's gonna swing into Drag Strip, which makes sense to me. Drag Strip does not have any defense. I might have gone after Breakdown myself to get more spillover damage. It is enough to kill Drag Strip. There's 1 left over, and since that's non-combat damage, it has to go to Motormaster. And Drag Strip is KO'd. But Drag Strip's already in bot mode, so the rest of my flips, I'll get useful stuff. Breakdown has no alt mode or bot mode ability, but I do pull the Turbo Boosters, which is one of the cards I'm struggling with this in deck. I love the idea, since I've got 3 cars, to have Turbo Boosters in there, but maybe I don't need as many as I had in the past. Maybe I don't need 3 of, maybe it's more of a 2 of. But Turbo Boosters goes on Breakdown, untapping Breakdown, and I play a Leap in a Battle, which gives me a big old beefy swing on Breakdown. And it might have been a little overkill, but I really wanted to make sure Sludge was down. Now that I think about it, this deck didn't really have any blue. I could have saved the Leap in a Battle for my next swing. That probably was a bit of a misplay on my part. But Sludge is KO'd, and I'm sure my opponent is running I Still Function, but getting Sludge out of the way now is still very, very nice. And I do have the Stunticon Swagger. I haven't played it yet because when I'm running 5 wide, I feel like it's easy to just avoid the Stunticon Swagger. My opponent played Jaws of Steel and then Combat Commands, giving Snarl a very meaty swing here, which I think goes right on Offroad, which I'm, again, a bit surprised that he picked Offroad. I don't know why he wasn't focusing on Breakdown. I guess he didn't need to now that Breakdown already got his second swing. And I pulled the Enigma, which is good. Now I'm thinking who I want to transform between Breakdown and Motormaster. I think Motormaster is very nice to have him in bot mode until the end to avoid any indirect damage. Here, I'm thinking about where I want to put the Stunticon Swagger. I end up putting it on Dead End, I believe. Yep. So the Stunticon Swagger goes on Dead End because Dead End doesn't have any health off him, so Stunticon Swagger I feel has a good chance of making it onto Menasor, which I really, really want. And yeah, transform Breakdown. Just get another bot mode. And everything's tapped, so I get my 2-wide swing, and I go ahead and focus on Snarl. And yeah, that's not enough to get past his defense, but I do pick up an inverted, which I think will be nice to have in the pocket for later. And then there's Dead End Swing and a Snarl, which does get 3 damage onto him. And everyone untaps, and it is my opponent's turn. So there is the I Still Function, which I think pulling 3 health off of Dead or Snarl is not worth it, but using it to get a swing off onto Motormaster was a pretty smart idea, especially because for that turn we had the same width. Now we're 2 and 2 again. So Motormaster's down, and I pull the Team Up Tactics, and that's another one I think I need to drop. I pull Team Up Tactics, but I'm trying to get everyone in bot mode so fast. Team Up Tactics doesn't do me any good. And I do get Motormaster in bot mode, so there is Menasor, and I believe Menasor is going to have 25 damage on him. I make sure the Stunticon Swagger's on him, I don't need Turbo Boosters on him. Yep, 25 damage on Menasor. I do get to draw 2 for combining them, and I got some gear. There's no extra action I can play, but I do have some upgrades. I don't want to play inverted because I feel like getting rid of Stunticon Swagger is a death wish. I'll go ahead and put the Energon Axe on him. And I think I can kill Snarl from this range. So I go ahead and swing. And it's 6 plus an orange pip plus the Energon Axe plus his Pierce 1 is plenty to kill. And then it's just Menasor versus Grimlock. So I'm pretty impressed by how well I played this after you've watched my previous videos. I've been struggling with Stunticons. But preventing Grimlock from using Bold, and Spillover is useless here. I think this is a pretty strong position on my end. And I draw the Handheld BLaster. Again, I've got nothing I want to play, which I want to get to a place in the deck where I've got more actions that I'm actually able to play as Menasor. I go ahead and play the Sparring Gear. Tough 2 in a blue deck will help keep me alive even longer.
Oh, really? So, I haven't looked at that.
And Menasor's gonna get a swing of base 9, pierce 3, bold 1. Which is awfully nice. That goes up against Grimlock's defense with 2 additional attack to do 9 damage. And yeah, now Grimlock's without Bold. Grimlock needs to deal another 6 damage, which I think will be a little tough with my deck, especially since I've got tough 3. I think one of the things I could recommend to my opponent, and we actually discussed this after a couple games, is adding a grenade launcher to the Dinobots, something that gives them attack and orange, but doesn't rely on Bold. Helps fight off the Stunticons, help fight off the Acid Storm decks. And without the Bold, I think all Grimlock can do is swing, because I'm sure all the actions were giving Bold. So he does get 2 orange pips, but with my defense and my toughness, it's not enough for the kill. Yeah, 31, so I've got 4 left, and we can both untap.
Yeah, Swagger I found, like, where I play Swagger.
Oh, I think at this point, my opponent had conceded, and we were talking about what he could have possibly done. He does have the Plasma Burst in his hand, but that still wouldn't be enough. I go ahead and play the inverted now because I just need to deal 3 damage to Grimlock, and I'm swinging with my Bold. That is plenty, so that's 13 or 14. Yeah, plenty. Great game to my opponent, and I think the Stunticon deck list is about where I want it, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Next episode should be tournament footage. Thanks, everyone.